The cleanup continues of all the snow. The kids were off school again. I slept in. I slept like a boss last night.
That's tremendous.
I'm feeling much better.
But by the sounds of things, there are still a lot of Clevelanders that don't have their streets plowed.
Yeah, and that's actually where we begin our day today, because it sure looks pretty when it falls, but as we know, the day after a big snowstorm is always a huge mess. And today, obviously no different. So many people across Northeast Ohio are still stuck with streets that are under piles of snow. Isabel Lawrence spoke with people hard at work with shovels in hand today and checked in on how our roads are looking.
On Vega Avenue in Cleveland, Jesse Kane spent the morning digging out. He's lived there for years and says the street doesn't get enough passes from city plows.
Highway gets plowed, West 25th gets plowed, that street down there gets plowed, but our street right here,
Have you seen any plows yet?
Not from Cleveland, no, I have not.
Eric Pollock works in Ohio City. Yesterday, he helped dig out 9 or 10 cars. He says he called the city for a plow, but didn't hear back.
It will definitely help a lot. I mean, people have to commute here. There's community over here. People have to get in and out, and, you know, a lot of people miss work. They can't get through.
In Cuyahoga, Geauga, and Lake counties, ODOT had more than 65 trucks out on the roads yesterday.
Yesterday, there was so much snow and a lot of it falling so quickly that, you know, we could make a pass and, 5-10 minutes later, it might not look like a plow had even been on the road.
Isaac Hunt with ODOT says they did pre-treat the roads, but once the snow falls, it can wipe some of that away. Now the work continues, especially in problem spots like bridges and ramps.
Today, we're working on cleaning those shoulders up and pushing as much snow off each pass as we can.
When snow started falling in Akron, about 55 crews worked between first and second priority routes, like expressways, metro bus routes, hospital and school areas, and dead-end streets.
We have about 122 million square feet of pavement that we need to cover. And with the 12 to 16 inches of snow we got, that would basically fill Cleveland Municipal Stadium over 2,000 feet high.
Jim Hall, Akron Public Works Bureau Manager, says they're now on third priority roads and aim to have everything clear by this evening.
I think they just had so much to do that they couldn't get to the side streets until later.
Back in Cleveland, people continue to shovel and exercise patience.
Yeah, a lot of cars still under piles of snow like this one here. It's a tough situation. But in terms of the city of Cleveland's progress, we know that there are 292 subsections, or kind of these clusters of streets, residential streets here in Cleveland. And that's about 10,000 streets citywide. Now, in the past hour, we've just learned that 209 of those subsections have now been plowed. That's about 71% of city streets. So, Betsy, some progress being made here.
That is definitely some progress. And Isabel, just to put it in perspective, from one side of the city to the other, we picked up anywhere from about 9.2 to over 13 inches of snow out of this storm. And by the way, we still have not heard anything from Ashtabula, where they got 28 inches of snow. So let's let's send some crews out that way too, most certainly. All right. Thanks a lot, Isabel.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of businesses and schools still closed today, obviously due to the weather, as the cleanup continues. And if we do end up having more closings coming in, you'll be able to find them under the weather tab of WKYC.com. Just click closings and delays.
Now on your feet at 5, police are investigating a murder at Kalahari Resort's property that happened yesterday. It involves some of its employees as well. At this time, there are now 6 people in custody connected to the incident. Brandon Simmons joins us now with more on the details. Brandon, good evening to you.
Yeah, hi, Jay. I think the headline in this one really grabs your attention when you hear about a murder involving Kalahari employees. Now, I just wrapped up a conversation with Perkins Township Police Chief, and here's what we know so far. First, I want to talk about the location where it happened. This incident did not happen at the water park and resort property that we all know about. Instead, it happened at an off-site employee housing complex that's just down the road to the north on US 250, closer to the exit from I-90. Now, police say there was a party at that location, which is obviously away from guests of the resort. And at some point, 3 people got into an argument with the victim, 24-year-old Dontre Tate. Now, police don't know exactly what happened or what caused the argument, but that's something they do want to find out.
We're still trying to determine what exactly happened. Why was this an incident that occurred? What was the fight about? Those are all unknown things that that we're trying to determine right now. So it's still ongoing. We'll try and figure it out. And, you know, unfortunately, a young man lost his life way too soon.
Now, in total, there are 6 people who are in custody in connection with this murder. The alleged shooter, Delaney Brown, is charged with aggravated murder. He and 2 others charged with burglary. And then there are 3 more people, all Kalahari employees, who are charged with tampering with evidence. Now, we're told that 5 of the 6 people facing charges are Kalahari employees, but it's unclear from the first 3 we listed who are Kalahari employees and who are not. Of course, as we continue to learn details on this story, Jay, we will continue to bring them to you.
All right, Brandon Simmons live tonight on What's New. Brandon, thank you. Well, following a breakout season that reignited his NFL career, Browns defensive tackle Malik McDowell is in some hot water tonight. According to police records, the 25-year-old was arrested in Florida yesterday. Police responded to a call of a man walking near a school naked. Police say McDowell charged at an officer after he arrived on the scene and hit him with closed fists. The officer was hit in the head and eye. McDowell is charged with aggravated battery of an officer, resisting an officer, and exposing himself. The Browns released a statement saying, "We are aware of the very concerning incident and arrest involving Malik McDowell and are in the process of gathering more information. We understand the severity of this matter, and our thoughts are for the well-being of all involved."
Turning directions now, the website to order free COVID tests delivered right to your home, straight from the federal government. Well, it's now live a day earlier than expected. Our Emma Henderson went through the process and has what you can expect when you finally log on. Emma, I assume this is a pretty easy process, and are they really free?
It was, Betsy. I was able to hop right on to covidtest.gov, and in less than 5 minutes, I ordered them, no cost. With those initial orders, there's a limit of 4 per household. According to the White House, they should ship 7 to 12 days from your order. Here you can take a look at the site. You're going to want to press the bright blue button. It will take you to a form. Fill in your name, your address, and your email if you want to receive tracking information. Then just submit it, and you should get a confirmation that tests are going to be sent your way. So once you have the test, when should you use them? Before you're at any indoor gatherings with anyone unvaccinated or with anyone who is at higher risk for hospitalization, whether they're vaccinated or not. That would be older people or people with compromised immune systems. Here's what a doctor with the Cleveland Clinic told me.
So the recommendations that the CDC currently have, I think they're good recommendations. And essentially what it says is if an antigen test is positive, believe it. If an antigen test is negative, but you have symptoms of COVID, then essentially you shouldn't be confident and you should get retested with a PCR test.
Dr. Dan Rhodes sees these rapid tests as just one tool in a kit we can use to check ourselves for symptoms and look for answers when it comes to a COVID diagnosis. The other thing Dr. Rhodes emphasized is if you test before visiting someone vulnerable to COVID and it comes back negative, it's still a good idea to put on that mask for an extra layer of protection. Betsy?
Yeah, still following those protocols, lots of common sense. I think one thing that threw me off, because you know, if it's free, I'm logging on and I got it. I did it earlier today. It's through the Postal Service.
It is,
not
yes.
the CDC or the FDA. So when the Postal Service website comes up, that's where you know you're on the right one, and those will start shipping in late January.
Exactly.
So here we go. All right, thanks, Emma. Great info.
Well, we love to hear that sound right there, the bagpipes. And organizers announced that the Cleveland St. Patrick's Day Parade is coming back this year.
How about that?
I know, that's exciting.
And St. Patrick's Day is on a Thursday, which means it's going to be epic because everybody takes Friday off, and Thursday is just
extra
crazy.
Big party.
Oh, my word. Well, it was canceled the last 2 years because of COVID. The theme this year will be Ireland's scenic coastlines. Organizers say they're working with city and public health officials to make sure the parade has a safe return. And yeah, the parade is going to be happening on St. Patrick's Day, Thursday, March 17th. And Matt will be along in just a couple minutes to give us the latest forecast for that exact date and time.
It's only 2 months away.
That it steps off.
Yeah, he should be able to pinpoint that within 30 degrees or so.
Easy, we'll put him on that.
I'm so excited that that's coming back because that's obviously a mainstay for Clevelanders. It's always a great time. And I know that everybody is most concerned about safety, but heck, it's outdoors. We have seen that even throughout this past year, outdoor sporting events have gone on without any disruption. And the hope is, and this is just, this is our hope, but the hope is by then, Omicron is a thing of the past. Our caseload by then is expected to be way down. It's already down big time. We've got those numbers coming up in the second half hour. But that's the hope, that this will be behind us and we can celebrate and come out again.
True story. March 17th is my work anniversary here.
Oh,
and
it
my
is.
first day coming up to the big city. It's the little Copley girl driving up 77, all excited. I had no idea about the parade.
Oh, boy.
So I thought, I only know one way to get to the station, so I'm going to cut right down through downtown. You can't do that when the parade is going on. I ended up out in Timbuktu. I was late to work on my first day.
Wow. Well, that'll never happen again. I mean, you know to work around that. Yeah, I'm ready for it. I don't know about you, but I've got cabin fever.
I know.
So,
it's going to be a big one this year.
Yep, it should be fun. All right, coming up next on What's New, two big consumer stories that are impacting a lot of folks. We got two popular services that are raising their prices, Peloton and Netflix. They are ramping up the price of their product. We'll tell you when they hit and how much more you'll be paying after the break.
Then tennis superstar Serena Williams is one proud mama. We'll show you what her daughter is getting into ahead in Pop Break. And Matt's along now. Matt, all right, we need a couple different versions of this forecast. Yeah, fine, evening out tonight, but what about St. Patrick's Day?
Yeah, so write it down, 42, some showers. Sorry, everybody, but still a lot better than, where we are now on the temperature front. And it's not too bad outside. We didn't get that Arctic push of air behind the system. It's remained fairly mild for this time of year. Your outdoor dining forecast or whatever you have planned. Perhaps you're just shoveling the driveway. We'll be in the 20s. It'll be quiet. We'll have some clouds floating through. But there is some active weather ahead. A couple more cold shots and more snow. We'll talk about it on the other side of the break.
Icing. Man, I learn more and more things about Betsy every day. She likes cake with no icing.
I just want the sponge.
That's not even a thing. Okay. It's not a thing.
Welcome back, everyone. You can tell what we talk about during the break. We have some important consumer news about two popular services.
Yeah, this one got my attention.
Yeah,
I use both. Peloton jacking up its prices for customers that are purchasing the original bike and the treadmill services. So here's the deal. Beginning January 31st, customers will pay an additional $250 for delivery and setup of its bike. $350 if you're buying the treadmill. Now, previously, those numbers were rolled into the price of the bike, which is already pretty pricey, but they threw in the installation for free. Not anymore. Those changes are due, the company says, to inflation and, of course, supply chain issues.
And that is so much more your speed than mine, because, you know, that's exercise. I'm more of a sit on the couch and watch Netflix kind of gal. But Netflix is raising prices again, just a year and a half after the company's last price hike. The streaming giant says its basic plan is increasing by $1 to $10 a month. Its most expensive monthly plan is now $20, which is a $2 increase. Yes, the folks across the border, Canadian customers, also going to be seeing their prices going up. Netflix says customers will receive an email about the price increase 30 days before it actually hits their bill.
Are you a big user of Netflix?
Yes.
I used to be.
Yeah, we are.
But now, every time I go there and search their library, it's not there.
Really?
Well, because if you think about it, Disney took all of its catalog and they started Disney Plus. And Paramount took all of its catalog, and now there's Paramount.
How many streaming services do you have?
Well, I don't know. I can't answer that on too many. But my thing is, and I've said this before, I wish that they were all under one umbrella. But I have noticed, and I've said this a number of times, each time I go to Netflix and search for something and it says it's not here, I'm like, you know what, I'm done with them.
Really?
I'm done with them because they used to have everything, and now they have so little.
They have a lot of original programming.
The documentaries are tremendous.
That's the thing. 14 Peaks. If you haven't seen 14 Peaks, watch 14 Peaks. It's amazing. But we do Prime Video, of course.
Yeah, I have Prime.
Netflix and Disney at my house.
Yeah.
And Violet's the one who uses Netflix the most.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
The baby of the family is on Netflix.
She whips right through it. Bing, 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 bing.
Yeah, she
knows exactly where stuff is. So
one.
yeah, there's something about Grizzly and Lemmings. It's a big hit at our house. It's a phenomenal little cartoon that's real slapstick and fun. Anyway, boy, Matt, you know, this cleanup continues. We actually got some sunshine today. I think that goes a long way just toward making everything feel a whole lot better.
Yeah, it does. Once the sun came out, it was like, oh, okay, it's manageable. And I see it behind you there. It's a little bit of sunshine.
I know, that looks good. You're right.
To still have it.
Just seeing the sun impacts everything. Everything tastes better, life is better, jokes are funnier. Matt, your word today is hike. Hike. I love sunshine.
Okay.
Apparently.
You know I'm team sunshine. Hike, because we did the story on the price hike.
Yeah, I got it.
And I didn't want to give you a price hike because that's 2 words and that's too difficult.
Or hike the football, or take a hike.
Yeah.
We got it.
That's what I'm thinking.
We'll fit that in. No, you just said everything tastes better when it's sunny. I don't know if I understand that.
It really does.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, life is just better with sunshine on it.
Still some things that don't taste very good, sunny or not. All right, temperatures right now, we're near 30 degrees outside. Not a whole lot of melt going on. If you got the salt down, if you got the pavement cleared, remember it absorbs the sun's energy, so a lot of the asphalt surfaces have melted out all the snow. Otherwise, we have piles. Wind is out of the south. That's key. That's going to continue to warm us over the next 24 hours. Let's go next 12 hours, and you can see wind chill values. They're manageable. We're in the upper teens right now. Look at temperatures tonight. They take a dive after sunset, and then they start to go up. We'll be in the 30s by daybreak tomorrow. Clouds will increase. This is out ahead of a weather system out towards our west, but 41% of the U.S. is snow covered. Last year, this time, 31%, so we're a little ahead of last year. Notice the footprint that was left by the snowstorm that produced all the snow, not just locally, but up into New England as well. Quite a bit of snow, and that's also where it's coldest. Remember, snow, kind of an insulator, like a igloo cooler, so to speak, so we've got cooler temperatures, but that mild air is trying to build into this, and we've got a frontal boundary out towards our west. This is why we're starting to warm, and this is also the reason why our temperatures are going to crash later on tomorrow, because we've got another shot of Arctic air coming our way. So how does that play out with your National Design Hour by Hour forecast? Just cloudy tonight. Remember, temperatures going up. Here comes our frontal boundary around lunchtime tomorrow. It'll bring some rain in here, perhaps mixed with some snow once it moves through, and watch temperatures. We go from mid-30s to up near 40. We're back down to the 20s by this time tomorrow evening, so you will need that thick jacket on the way to work, and that will kick off some lake effect snow. Models indicating perhaps a decent band of snow with Lake Huron connections coming into some part of the snow belt Thursday morning. That could be problematic for your Thursday morning rush hour. It looks to be a lot more localized though, and that snow sticks around. We're going to hike those temperatures up tomorrow to around 39 degrees. How about that before they drop on off? 18 degrees, all the better we're going to do with that Arctic air on Thursday. Friday, sunshine but cold, and for the weekend, we're tracking another system in here Sunday, Monday. Monday. We'll keep an eye on it. Could produce some light accumulation. Back to you guys.
All right, but nothing like what we saw Sunday to Monday.
Not at all.
Easy peasy. We got this, folks. Okay, next on What's New, let's just say Bob Saget would be so proud. We'll have an update on Full House star Jodie Sweetin and her big news that's ahead in Pop Break.
Then the dog days of winter. That's right. They can be productive. It's today's Worth the Watch coming up. It's one that I think you'll enjoy. I had to watch this twice to make sure it was real. It's coming up.
What are you doing?
Hi, Matt. Is it Weird Al Yankovic, or is there an H, or is it Vic? Yankovic? Okay. Was that a... Okay. Hey, girl. Hey, Julie, can you attach this to me real quick? Sorry. Look, I don't even know what happened. Thank you. Really? Was it here? Oh. Was he, like, weird? Uh-huh. Oh. That's very odd. Like, all...
All right, welcome back to What's New. It is time now for our daily Pop Break segment. The music gave it away. We've got breaking news from the Grammys. Yeah. We told you last week that the annual show would be postponed, but now we know why, and we have details as to when it's going to happen.
That's right. Music's biggest night is going to be taking place live in Vegas on April 3rd. Our Kira Cotton, you see her right there. She joins us now from the newsroom with the rest of today's top headlines. Hey, Key.
Hi, Jay and Betsy. You know, when it comes to children and their parents, oftentimes the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Some parents pass down their looks, others their sense of humor. But for Serena Williams, she's passing down her love of tennis. Over the weekend, Williams posted a video of her 4-year-old daughter, Olympia, showing off her tennis skills. Look at that swing. The video was captioned, "Practice makes progress." With that swing, there's no telling what the future holds for this little star. Serena shares Olympia with husband and Reddit co-founder Alexis Ohanian. And from Harry Potter to Grammy Award-winning musician, Daniel Radcliffe is set to play Weird Al Yankovic. The 32-year-old actor has been tapped to play Yankovic in Roku's first original biopic. According to the movie synopsis, the film explores the life and career of Yankovic from childhood prodigy to the greatest musical legend of all time. According to the casting, Weird Al, after he made a statement saying, "I have no doubt whatsoever that this is the role future generations will remember Radcliffe for." Weird, the Al Yankovic story will be exclusively available on the Roku channel. And Full House fans understandably have been down and out following the untimely passing of Bob Saget. But here's some good news that might brighten your day. Jodie Sweetin is engaged. The actress, known for her role as the sweet and sassy Stephanie Tanner, announced the news on social media yesterday ahead of her 40th birthday. Sweetin shared a pic of her and now fiancé, Mescal, cuddled up as she sports her new ring. The couple first confirmed their relationship back in 2018. And now, you know what it is. It's time for your chance to win your tickets to the Eagles concert. Today's code word is LANE. That's LANE. You can head over to WKYC.com/contest and enter it now. The Eagles are set to play at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse on March 17th. And last but certainly not least, unless you've been living under a rock, you've heard the Baby Shark toddler anthem. Well, Jay and Betsy, it is now the most viewed video in YouTube history. The video now has been seen across the world a whopping 10 billion times.
I guarantee you it is from parents handing the phone to their kids, just like, look, be quiet while I'm driving, and the kids back there, restart, restart.
Over and over again.
I don't know
what I'm most thankful for, though?
yourself.
I'm most thankful that Key didn't play it. Because that's it. It's a wrap. It'd be stuck in my head all day long.
Can you do the...
Don't.
This is the grandpa shark. That's my favorite.
I haven't seen that. That's pretty good. Thanks, Key. All right, today's Worth the Watch comes from Canton. This is Tinsel. She's a 12-month-old St. Bernard. She really wanted to carry her weight around the house, Bets. She tried to shovel the snow. Now, this is a bright dog. She just watched her owner shoveling the snow and figured there's got to be a way I can do it. She dropped the shovel, then tried picking it back up again by the handle.
Oh, my goodness.
And I say it's the effort that counts, right? Tinsel's owner, Elizabeth, has been on What's New in the past. She participated in Westminster with other dogs. Tinsel will actually start her show career very soon. And I'm betting on Tinsel.
Man, that is so impressive. I will tell you, the first thing I think of is the Looney Tunes. I think it was Looney Tunes, where the St. Bernard dog had the little the
shaker
thing around its neck, and it would stop and make a drink.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Get that dog some Looney Tunes.
Now we have to ask our viewers to get in our What's New Facebook page and tell us if it was Looney Tunes. I thought it was something else.
I can't remember.
But I remember
it's like right along the Bugs Bunny, Wile E. Coyote whole.
Right. That's just incredible to me.
But what a great dog.
And if Tinsel makes progress, I'll send over my address and I can put it
have
over.
your new little snow broom.
Yeah, but let me tell you, Snow Joe has its limits.
We have not seen any video, and you'll notice.
Well, the Snow Joe is good in 1 or 2 inches. It ain't getting 17.5 inches off my sidewalk. Sorry, I know.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, still ahead on What's New. Snow Day sledding fun. How kids and even some parents are using all this snow to their advantage.
Then the NFL playoff picture. We have which teams are set to play in the divisional round.
And 5G chaos. It goes live tomorrow, but not everywhere. We're going to talk about the safety concerns that the airlines are raising.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Let's get you caught up on 3 things you need to know now at 5:30. Many Northeast Ohio residents are still digging themselves out from the snow. Here in Cleveland, City Hall says 209 of 292 residential subsections, they're calling them, have now been plowed. That's basically clusters of streets. As for Akron, folks at City Hall tell us their crews are now on 3rd priority roads and plan to have all roads cleared by this evening.
Our second item, Betsy, is our daily COVID numbers, and we're really starting to see big declines now in the key metrics. For the first time in 21 days, our number of new daily cases is below 18,000. In fact, it's all the way down to 15,077. That is a decrease of more than 30% from our rolling 3-week average. Hospitalizations also down, now for an 8th straight day. We currently have 6,036 COVID-19 patients in Ohio hospitals. That's a decrease of 700 over the last 8 days.
And speaking of COVID, the website to order free COVID test kits from the federal government is now live a day earlier than expected. The initial orders have a limit to 4 kits per household. Once you log onto the site, press the bright blue button. It will take you to a form where you fill in your name and address, and then you just submit it. You should get a confirmation that tests are going to be sent your way. They're going to be coming later in January. According to the White House, they should ship 7 to 12 days from your order. So it's a patience kind of a thing. And do know that you'll be ordering that through the Postal Service, which I thought was an interesting little thing, not the CDC or the FDA or anything like that.
Yeah, and it's 4 per household.
4 per household.
So it's not 4 per person.
Right.
Some people think, well, I've got 4 email addresses in this house, I can get 16.
Yeah.
You get 4 per household.
This is just to get it started for sure. Well, with all that, we welcome you back, everybody, to What's New on this Tuesday afternoon. I keep having to tell myself it's Tuesday. I'm Betsy Kling alongside Jay Crawford.
Yeah, so we were talking earlier. Betsy was telling me that she likes cake, but she eats it without icing.
Unless it's, so I'm going to throw a name out. I'm probably not supposed to do that, but Giant Eagle has a satin icing. It's like a whipped cream icing.
Oh,
that's the only
delicious.
one that I like.
Yeah, so
buttercream is not my jam.
Really?
No, I'll scoop it off. I'll give it to you. You can have all my icing.
See, as a kid, I just wanted the icing. You can have the cake, I'll eat the
I'm
icing.
everybody's favorite friend to have for cupcakes.
Yeah, I think so. And that makes us a perfect pair, really.
Exactly.
You can eat the cake and I'll eat the icing and we'll just have one heck of a good time.
A little switcheroo there.
That's insane.
It's just how I am. I know,
all right.
It's weird.
We all have our quirks.
But let's move to our top talker now, because days like today are best when, man, you were a kid. I thought it was beautiful today, even as an adult too. But we're talking about sledding, of course. Northeast Ohio has some pretty amazing sledding hills, and some local kids showed off their skills to our photojournalist, Kelly Matter, today.
Going down the hill. Going down it.
Time to go sledding.
1,000,000 miles per hour. Pretty fast.
The forecast today is it's good, but there's like leaves all over, you know. It's smooth except for pretty much almost the entire hill.
Oh, they're having a ball. They've got friends over. They're all doing it together. They're having a great time.
It is amazing.
It is very fast.
How do you resist, right, when your kids want you to go and the reporter says you should try it?
It's fun.
My fear is I'm not going to get back up. I have dress shoes on.
It's fun.
That is Huntington Park in Bay Village. I don't know what's up with those leaves. That really brings down the friction coefficient.
Yeah, it slows you down.
Man, that is not good. Now, you grew up in Sandusky.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a hill in Sandusky at this point.
No, it's pretty flat.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty flat. But I'm very lucky because right behind my house, there is a long hill that you can actually ski down, which is beautiful. But I got to say, that was so much fun when I was young. Mm-hmm. But I know Tom said he took one for the team because the kids wanted him to do it. But that kind of thing, laying on your body now and going down a hill.
Being old, meaning?
when you're old, that's not fun.
You got to do tubing.
No, tubing's
because
great.
There's some cushion there.
But they weren't using tubes. They were just using the sleds.
If you go to a sledding hill and you bring out an old school Flexi Flyer sled, the kids look at you
they'll look at you like, what planet are you from?
And then you talk about soaping the skids.
Oh, yeah.
And
you could steer with your feet.
You're like freaking lightning.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Junior. See ya. Eat my snow.
That'll get their attention real fast.
I had two favorites growing up.
Okay. Where did
so
you
I grew
sled?
up in Copley, down in Summit County.
Yeah.
My grandparents lived close to Hawkins Street and the San Run Metro Park. So we called it Suicide Hill. It was at the San Run Metro Park North Hawkins entrance. It's at the end of the road. And it's because there was a real steep hill going down, and then there was like a valley, and then you went up again. But the problem is you did not stop. You came back down.
Wow.
So you'd have kids doing this. It was Suicide Hill.
That's why it's called Suicide Hill.
Fantastic.
See, my parents would have probably not let me go there just because it was called Suicide Hill.
The other place, Hinckley Sledding Hill at Hinckley Lake. It's at Cleveland Metro Parks now.
Good one.
The most phenomenal long hill. It's lit at night, so you can go at night. Oh, it's so awesome. They always have the burn barrel going.
That's great.
Absolute bomb. Well, we do have a list of all of these available for you at WKYC.com. This snow is going to be sticking around for a while, so you actually have time to plan ahead, like to the weekend. Maybe you can hit a couple different sledding hills.
Very good.
Have some warm-up time in between.
All right, the cold temperatures, it's not going to melt anytime soon.
Nope.
I think I saw 0 on Matt's forecast. 0. Okay, I think we're going to turn the page now and talk about football.
Yes.
Or actually, you know what? No, we're supposed to tell you that we want you to share your hidden gems with us. So if you know of a great sledding hill, you can add to our list. And you can do that by going to our 3 What's New Facebook page. Go there, and if you're not a member, ask to join and we'll let you in. And then, boom, there you go. We'll have a long list of folks' favorite sledding hills.
There you go.
All right, now we're going to turn our focus to the NFL playoffs. We are now down to the final 8 teams. So there's 32 to start the season. 24 are now at home watching. 8 are left in the hunt for the Super Bowl. Remember, this is the stage that the Browns made it to last year. Remember 1 year ago, we were in the final 8. It was so exciting.
Too soon.
Well, last night, the final game of Wild Card Weekend was played, and it was kind of painful watching this, too, because Odell Beckham Jr. was really the star of the show. He made that ridiculous catch for the first touchdown of the game. And then later, and I'll tell you, boy, Arizona's offense just struggled. I mean, my goodness, Kyler Murray, what were you thinking on that throw, which was a pick 6? And the Rams had their way. But later in the game, Odell Beckham actually threw a 40-yard pass, threw it on the money, and it was nearly a touchdown. So Odell Beckham Jr. is still doing his thing while the rest of the Browns are at home watching. So here's the deal. In the AFC, we have 4 teams left. The Bengals are at the top-seeded Titans this weekend. The Chiefs will host the Buffalo Bills. That's a rematch of last year's AFC Championship game. And then over in the NFC, the Niners will go to Green Bay to play the Packers, and the Buccaneers will host the Rams. So the Bucks, the last year's Super Bowl champion, will host Odell Beckham Jr. and the Rams. And I got to tell you, after watching the Rams last night, I know Tampa's a tough out, but this Rams team is very good. And if you think it's salt in the wound now to watch OBJ do his thing, imagine if this Rams team with OBJ wins the Super Bowl.
Ugh.
Because it looked like his career was over because we couldn't get him the football. And now it looks like it was more a Browns problem than an OBJ problem.
Still salty. I love listening to you and Jimmy back in the makeup room talk.
Yeah, we're always...
Little fly
You could have left the
there.
makeup room out of that conversation.
Can I borrow your blush? It's awesome. All right, still ahead, 2 cell phone companies will launch their new service tomorrow, but not everywhere they had hoped. We'll break down what's going on coming up with our tech guru, Brandon Simmons.
Then, praising OBJ. We just talked about it. Several Browns players were really impressed with his performance in the Rams playoff win last night. We're going to tell you what they were saying. Stephanie Haney's been monitoring that, and she has that in Clicking in Cleveland. But first, Matt is back. He's got our weather in a jiffy. Hi, Matt.
Would it be better if we called it a powder room for you?
I feel better with powder room.
Okay,
I can work with powder room.
Yeah, you and Jimmy in the powder room, just talking sports.
The way she says it, it makes it seem like Jimmy and I are hanging out in the makeup room all day talking sports.
Not all day, but definitely there's some lingering that's happening.
You were back there for a while, Jay. Glad you finally made it.
We're in there 3 minutes tops.
Here's our dip of the day. A lot of you with sore backs this morning. I'm sure you felt like this with the weight of that snow. Oh, get it out of the way. We'll be back to let you know if there's more coming after this.
All right, we have another check of the forecast, and we start off with Matt's stat. I've missed doing this.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, this one's a good one today, guys. Real stumper. The number today is 1. All right, 1. That could be a lot of things. So is 1 the total from this last snowstorm in northwestern Richland County? That's by Mansfield. So is that how much they got? Difference in winter snow between Nashville and Cleveland, or the average number of nights below 0 in January here in Cleveland? Or is it all of the above?
Ooh, this is a good one.
It is a good one.
Yeah, it is.
All right, so stew over that, okay?
A lot of weather info in there.
There's a lot of weather info.
Winter snow, do you mean average? Do you mean as of right now?
I mean for the whole winter so far, as of right now.
So this winter?
Yeah, this winter.
I'm thinking.
Okay. All right, keep thinking. Guys, I've got great news. Aside for that, great news. 5:25 sunset tonight, right? Look at next Tuesday, 5:33. Look what's on the board now. February 15th, we get beyond the 6 o'clock hour as we continue to gain that daylight. And you notice it here in the shot behind Betsy and Jay a little bit earlier. Still have that sun out here, at least early in the 5 o'clock hour. It's getting brighter northeast Ohio. Temperatures tonight going up as well. We were going to hit our low here over the next couple hours. Southerly wind going to push some warmer air in here. And boy, was it warmer, up in the 50s in St. Louis today, 60s, even 70s down in Texas, out ahead of our next cold front. You can see the shadow of all the snow that fell from that snowstorm, not just us, but all the way up towards New England, keeping things cool. But again, we'll try to warm tonight. Cold front off towards the west. There's some snow off towards the north. That'll miss us, but what won't miss us is the Arctic air behind this. This will come in later in the day tomorrow, so we're going to start mild tomorrow. By evening, that temperature will drop back, and we'll stay there. In terms of the next 7 days, the below average temperatures are in blue. Notice how they come back into the eastern half of the country. And as Betsy mentioned, we've got some staying power to the cold, so the snow's not going to go anywhere. Tomorrow's really going to be our only melting day, but we're going to stay below average as the cold continues to come in from Canada, even on into next week as it looks right now. So National Zymark Hour by our forecast. Here comes our frontal boundary tomorrow. This is 7 a.m. bus stop, commute to work. We're looking mild. We'll likely have some wet pavement out there from some of the snow melt. Rain showers will develop. They may mix with some snow as this moves through. Doesn't look to be a big deal precip-wise, but that temp will be coming down throughout tomorrow evening. And by tomorrow night, we're kicking off some lake effect snow. We'll have to keep an eye out for a decent band of snow connecting with Lake Huron. All the models kind of agreeing with that. So we could have some heavy snow somewhere in the viewing area. Outside of that, it's going to be pretty nice but chilly on Thursday. In terms of the big pictures, we go from here. Boy, it gets interesting in the southeastern United States. Several waves of energy and perhaps another snowstorm for areas of the Carolinas up towards the eastern seaboard. For us, we stay mainly away from that. What we're going to be dealing with over the next 7 days are these clipper systems. They don't have a lot of moisture with them, but they can put down a couple inches of snow. We'll keep an eye on the timing of those through next week. But again, we're going to stay cold. That's the big thing. Union Home Mortgage 7-day forecast. Jay noticed the 0 on Saturday morning. It's going to be a chilly one, especially with clear skies and snowpack, and we stay chilly next week with those dancing around snowflakes Sunday and Monday. All right, Matt Stats, 1. What do you got?
I think he threw the all of the above in there to trick me. So I'm going the Nashville gimmick because my brother lives in Nashville and he has really been complaining about how much snow they've had this year.
Yeah, I'm going to do the January below 0.
Oh, you guys are both so close.
Oh, no.
It's actually how much snow fell in northwestern Richland County.
No way!
Yeah, Shelby ended up with 1.2 inches. How about that?
I think they need to check their rulers again.
You'd think so. You know, Richland County went from 1 inch to 8 inches in a matter of miles. That was that cutoff we were talking about. So
because Mansfield was like 3 point something,
right,
and they're like 20 minutes apart.
Nashville's had 9 inches, and we averaged 2 nights by now in January.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right, very good.
I don't like these stats anymore.
You got me on
change
that
it
one.
and do something else.
Thank you, Matt.
Yep.
Hey, it's Tech Tuesday, and we have more drama to talk about when it comes to the rollout of 5G. This has been anything but smooth. 5G is supposed to give users faster data speeds and more reliable speeds.
This afternoon, AT&T and Verizon announced that the companies will not roll out the service within 2 miles of airports. The networks are supposed to go live tomorrow after delaying it due to safety concerns. The airline industry clapped back, saying that the 5G service will interfere with some of their technology.
Yeah, this has just been fascinating, and I know our tech guru, Brandon Simmons, who's joining us now, has really been following this story very closely. So, Brandon, we were talking earlier today, you and I know you've been all over this, so tell us exactly what it is. Tell us why 5G is a safety concern for the airlines.
Yeah, big safety concern for airlines. Really, AT&T and Verizon are looking to activate a portion of the 5G spectrum that's called C-band. Now, as you said, it's supposed to allow for blazing fast speeds that the carriers have promised to us for years. But the problem is, airlines say using C-band frequencies too close to airports can cause interference with an airplane's altimeter. Now, that's the device that tells the pilot exactly how close to the ground they are. It's often used when pilots are in low visibility situations like rain or fog. So we're talking about something that's super important, and that's why airlines are so vocal on the issue, and they were so nervous that 5G would be activated near airports beginning tomorrow, of course, until they change that announcement.
Well, Brandon, between the airlines and phone carriers and the government, is there any one place to point our fingers for blame in this delay?
Well, typically when the government is involved, you kind of know who's at fault, right? AT&T and Verizon, they both bought the rights to use this C-band spectrum from the government back in 2019. Everybody knew its purpose was for the expansion of 5G. And since then, the FCC and FAA have had time to mitigate problems. In fact, the carriers say 40 other countries figured out how to do this safely, but not here in the U.S. The simple fact is carriers paid $65 billion, that's with a B, to use this spectrum, and they've developed all of their long-term business plans around it being active. And now at the last minute, you're going to ask them not to use it? Clearly here, government was quick to make the sale, but they neglected all of the details that follow.
Yeah, a lot of meteorologists are concerned too because this same part of the spectrum is very close to water vapor imagery from satellites, so it gets a little cloudy. Haha, weather pun.
So this would be a customer service fail, it sounds like, on the case of the government. Yeah. We'll sell it to you, and then whatever happens
they made $65 billion. They're happy.
Brandon, you made that digestible and understandable, so we thank you for that. Thanks, man.
Sure
All right,
thing.
2022 is already shaping up to be an impressive year for the local restaurant scene. Our Doug Tratner shares 6 new eateries coming to town ahead in Clicking in Cleveland.
Yeah, that's exciting. And later we have a heartfelt update on this guy, Spike. You may remember his story and his quest to find a loving home after 5 years in a local shelter. Update is next.
Yeah. Here's what's clicking in Cleveland. Yes, that is a familiar looking curtain because Stephanie Haney cannot get into her house. And I still have not been to my house.
All right, it's time to see what's cooking in Cleveland. And for that, we say hello to our digital anchor, Stephanie Haney, who I'm proud to tell you made it out of her house finally.
That's right. The road is clear. The driveway, another story, maybe later in the week. Now, we know that everybody has a few more chances to get to Akron's Winter Blast event. That's happening at Lock 3 Park this week if you can get out of your driveway. Here's what sold me on this. They have ice bumper cars, and Eagle Eye viewers will see that our Lindsey Buckingham is there in the pink jacket on the right. They also have indoor polar putt-putt and ice bikes. They've got snacks and hot chocolate and adult beverages. Now, it's closed today, but it's open Wednesday and Thursday from 11 to 9 and Friday from 11 to 11. That's until next year, so get there while you can. And coming soon, we have a bunch of new restaurants opening in Cleveland. This year, our food editor, Doug Trackner, has laid out 6 of them on WKYC.com, so here's a few of those. Jade will be opening soon along the river in the Flats. That's an Asian fusion restaurant. And the next one coming up will be taking over East 4th Street, where Lola's Bistro used to be. That'll be a hot spot for sure. And then finally in Cleveland Heights, we expect Nighttown to reopen this year. That's coming from Red Restaurant Group. Now for those other 3, head to WKYC.com. And whether you love or you hate to see it, Odell Beckham Jr. had a great game last night in the NFL playoffs, and his former teammates took notice. Wearing the blue and gold for the Los Angeles Rams, OBJ caught 4 passes, including one for a touchdown, and threw a 40-yard pass of his own. Now, of course, his best friend Jarvis Landry was going to show his support, so he tweeted about that. But along with him was wide receiver Rashard Higgins, cornerback Greg Newsome II, linebacker Mack Wilson Sr., and safety Javonte Moffett. You know, the Rams will play the Buccaneers, like you said earlier, Jay, on Sunday. That'll be right here on Channel 3 at 3 p.m. Got to give credit where credit is due, Jay and Betsy, but would have been nice to see him do that in the orange and brown.
Yeah, it would have. And if you weren't sure whose fault it was, I think we know now. It wasn't OBJ's fault.
Leave it at that.
Yeah, that's enough on that. Okay, up next, what's new on What's New? A big surprise for Spike, the awesome update for this local dog, and how Betty White may have had something to do with it.
Two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hey, Jay. Bestie's back. How are ya? How was Lake?
One, two, 3. Thanks.
Today's show is Something Good comes from the Lake Humane Society, and this boy, Spike, has been at the shelter for the last 5 years. Well, yesterday, that 9-year-old pup went home with a foster dad, Michael, who plans to adopt him.
Well, that just makes me smile. We also have another good update for you. A lot of Ohioans have decided to donate to local shelters as part of this Betty White challenge we've been telling you about. The Lake Humane Society got over 300 contributions, and Friendship APL, who we featured here on What's New on Friday. We had an interview with a guy from out there, raised $23,815. Of course, lots of other shelters too raised money, all in Betty's name, and I promise you she's smiling about that.
She's still giving back.
Yes, she is. We're out of time. Back tomorrow at 5, and we hope to see you then.
What Matters Most with Russ and Laura starts right now.
Now at 6, snowstorm cleanup.
Cars stuck everywhere. I mean, everybody's just rambling around and trying to figure out how to get out of here. I just tell people, just stay at home.
It's the day after, and many neighborhoods remain snowed in, trapping residents and drivers. Also, murder mystery, a popular place